Welcome to the Harvesting Wisdom podcast. Together we explore the vast landscapes of life, delving into the rich soil of experiences, sowing the seeds of curiosity, and harvesting the profound wisdom that each episode unfolds.
This is Dr. Roselle with Harvesting Wisdom. We're starting a new segment for Harvesting Wisdom, and we're really excited because now what we're actually doing is we're spotlighting community gardens in Phoenix. And really, when you look around the city of Phoenix and you're looking for a great way to impact your community, but also learn knowledge that can create an impact and help you grow food, community gardens are it. Now, I have a very special guest with me, Garden Gail. And as you can see, she's very, very passionate about what she does. And we're going to talk about, we're going to do a series with Garden Gail. We're going to talk about maintenance. But really, what I want people to do is I want them to know that there's a lot of great ways they can connect with Garden Gail, not only to learn about soil maintenance, but also learn how they can volunteer, have an impact in their community, and take those lessons learned and go back to their house. So Garden Gail, tell me, first of all, where are you located? Where is your garden? Where do you call home?
We are called the Jewel of Sunnyslope. So we're in the Sunnyslope area, North Phoenix. The address is 9901 North 7th Ave, and it's part of the Mountain View Park.
Okay.
It's a city park, and we've sectioned this off to be Mountain View Community Garden, and we've been here about 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of passions, but let's clear this up first of all.
Okay.
If somebody wants to volunteer at the garden, how do they go about it? Where do you have a website, and then where do you have your events?
All right. We have a website. It's called keepphoenixbeautiful.org. They can go on there and register, or you can come. We have a volunteer day every third Saturday, and we call it Coffee in the Garden, and the gardeners come, the volunteers come, and we all work together. And I usually cook.
Okay, you've got me. You've already got me.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So I was brought up in my community back east that when you get volunteers, you feed them.
Absolutely.
You feed them. You let them know, hey, we appreciate what you do because we couldn't do all this without volunteers. It's just couldn't happen.
So talk to me what these volunteer days look like. So I show up. I'm going to get fed. Check that box.
Yeah.
What am I doing? And how is it going to help me, maybe start my own garden at home? What does it look like on a typical, one of your volunteer days?
Well, usually the compost pile needs turning.
Okay.
So you're going to get a 101 on composting. I also have a worm farm that needs care, so we work on that. Sometimes I make worm tea. And I show people how to compost with worms. And so that's one area. And then we can go on to weeding the garden. What are the bad weeds and get them out? Or what are the good weeds? Like purslane is a weed that grows, but you can make pesto out of it. And it's wonderful.
Oh.
And it's called purslane. I've done it before. It's great. So there's so many things. Seeds. I'm a seed saver. We have a program called Sip and Seed where people come and we have an event and we sit around with our trays of seeds and we put them in packages to give away at events.
Oh, wow.
Because we have a lot of seeds here, all kinds. And that's one of my passions is seed saving.
Okay, so you brought up a lot. Let's unpack a little bit. So
Okay.
I'm actually the president of the Arizona Compost Council, and I got into it. I'm excited about it because I'm a climate advocate. I think that we need to do more to be sustainable. So what a lot of people don't know is that one of the biggest producers of methane comes from our table scraps.
Yes.
And that a lot of that you can compost. Now they say, okay, it's great compost, but what they don't get too is then you get a resource, you get soil.
You get great soil.
We partner with a soil company, and what I tell schools I work with is, look, I will sell you soil all day, but I'd rather teach you so you could produce your own soil. So how do you manage that system so it's circular, and do you use your own soil? How much do you produce?
You bet. We are, if you go on the website, make soil, you click in and it'll show you in your area where you can drop off your kitchen scraps. And we are listed as a make soil people.
Yeah.
So the folks come and they drop off their kitchen scraps or whatever, newspaper, cardboard, and then I take it and I sort through it. Okay, this is great worm food, because worms, they don't like onions and garlic and that sort of thing. And that goes in the big compost bin that you turn and do such as that. 4 months, and then we got soil. We got beautiful compost soil. And I can make worm tea.
Wait, what's worm tea?
Worm tea is
worm tea. I thought you said worm tea. Okay, what's worm tea?
Worm tea is when I take the worm castings, put them in a paint bag, a filter. You put them in there, you put water, you let it aerate for 24 hours, and then you can pour it on your plants. It is amazing, better than anything you can buy in the store, and it's all organic. You're not putting chemicals on your soil and your plants. You don't want to use chemicals. I'm telling you, they're the worst to do.
Yeah, you and I are absolutely on the same page. And honestly, this is a big deal. There's a lot of people out there that want to know what they're eating. And they say, well, I can grow organic. I said, well, you got to figure out what goes into your soil too, because that's the story. That's where it all starts. So I absolutely agree with you. Now, you've said something that's interesting. It sounds to me like you've been doing this for a while. You have a passion for vermicomposting, for worms. Where did that start?
Oh, this is a great story. I used to work for the city of Phoenix for 30 years in the public works department, and we had a green team. So naturally, I was part of the green team because I really believe passionately we got to help save this earth. You know, even our own little self, we can do it. So I worked on the green team, and this gentleman that worked there, his name is Terry Gillenbeck, he handed me a book and said, here, and it was all about worms.
Wow.
So he had a little tray worm farm under his desk. So he
What?
He had a worm farm under his desk. It was one of those layers.
The tower ones.
The tower ones, right. So he delegated me to feed the worms. So every couple days I would bring my scraps and go under his desk and do that. So then I decided, well, I'm going to put these worms down in the basement of City Hall.
Wow.
So that's where I kept them. Because I was a contract monitor, I had that ability that I could move all over the city buildings. So that's where I kept the worms for years, and they loved it.
So you just heard the origin story for Garden Gail for worms. That's fantastic. So, you know, honestly, it's interesting because I know that we get a lot, and you do too, you get a lot of questions of how do I get started? And what I'm telling, and this is why we're doing this series, is start with your community garden. If you're curious on how to grow, and it's a lot. It's a lot. There's vermicomposting, there's composting. I want to talk to you about this a little bit too. I know that a lot of people ask me, why should I grow my own compost? We talked about some of the benefits for the environment, but really, if you want that circular system, you really need to produce your own soil, because soil degrades. It has to be refreshed. Why not create it yourself, right?
All the time. And the thing is, if we take this waste, this kitchen scraps, put it in the landfill, it produces a methane gas that poisons our air. So why don't we turn all that wonderful stuff into compost soil? Because the base of your gardening is the soil. That's the most important. That's your foundation. You got to have good soil. If you use different kinds of soil, like with weeds in it, you'll be fighting those weeds all the time. Where if you compost it, you got the richest soil you can work with. So I have I have also my compost pile back there that produces every 4 months, but my worms, I call them they're my soldiers. They do all the work for me, and we have a boot camp. We call it worm boot camp, and people come at this garden, and they can find out all about worms, and they take home a little thing to put in their garden, a little worm kit.
Yeah.
And people love it. The kids love it. We have a great time. So my passion is to spread the word about making your own soil and compost that kitchen scraps, because it's like, we call it liquid. It's gold. It really is. It does so much for your plants. Well, look at how green and beautiful this is in the middle of July.
Yeah, by the way, we're in Phoenix, Arizona. We're not in Michigan. We are in Phoenix, Arizona, and I can't remember the last time it rained. So one of the benefits of compost is you don't have to use as much water. It's more resilient too when it comes to extreme weather. So you check every box. You're feeding the soil, not just the plant, like you do with chemicals. You're really helping biodiversity in the ground. When it rains a lot, it keeps everything put, and you don't have to use as much water. So in a place like Arizona, it's a win-win-win. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is a three-part series. The next part we talk about with Gail, we're really going to talk about if you're out there and you're trying to start your own community garden, why coming in and working with Gail is your best first stop. And she's going to give us some tips on what to do when you're trying to start your own community garden. Gail, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was wonderful. I love spreading my knowledge because it gives me so much rewards back. I see children and people, all my gardens are filled, and I got five people waiting on a waiting list to get in. So this is awesome.
Well, thank you for letting us harvest your wisdom. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining the Harvesting Wisdom podcast. Click subscribe and like for ongoing insightful conversations. Explore our webpage for show notes and additional resources. Visit our guests' webpage for deeper insights. Your engagement is the foundation of our journey, and until next time, keep pursuing wisdom.